Sis, I was really surprised yesterday. Maya, I didn't think you would even be there. Mom told me you were bringing your fiancé, so I asked her if I could be there too, and she agreed. Mom should have told me. So, what were you surprised about? What? What are you talking about? Your fiancé is someone I know. How can an ugly girl like you go out with such a handsome guy? You're so rude out of the blue. I've been thinking that you might know Greg. You guys were in the same high school. But you two were in different grades, so I thought it's less likely that you guys knew each other. But you actually recognized him when you met him, so I was quite surprised. I think the only person I remember who was in different grades was Greg. He was so famous. I think everyone who went to the same high school as me knows him. I see. He was that famous? Yes, that's right. He was definitely the most popular guy in all of my high school years. Actually, I can't think of anyone else who was that popular in my whole life. He was that famous. Well, Maya, you said that yesterday, right? But Greg denied it. It's true. It's nice to see him being humble like that. He's not getting carried away. He's being humble. He's perfect. At the time, I just admired him. I never thought we would get to know each other like this. Maya, Greg is a bit shy about being praised like that. He feels kind of awkward. So if you could you treat him normally? Oh, he's so cute to be shy. Maya, are you listening to me? Besides, he's great at his job, right? Which is my top priority in a marriage partner, so he's really perfect. I was really surprised yesterday, you know, because you suddenly asked him, how much money do you make? That was rude of you. You shouldn't ask someone's income. I know it's rude, but I couldn't help but be curious. We went to the same high school, so I thought it would be nice to get to know him better. And I'm sorry if it's not much to ask. But he apparently makes $200,000 a year. He should be more proud of himself. And he's a freelancer. That's so cool. You know, it's not about the amount. He was surprised and taken aback by you. I think I'm going to switch from my boyfriend to Greg. Huh? What are you saying? Greg is my fiancé. Because, you know, after seeing Greg, my boyfriend suddenly seems so shabby. You can't talk like that. I met your boyfriend once myself. He's very kind and he cares about you. He's a very nice guy. Yeah, but Greg is much more good-looking. And my boyfriend's income isn't bad either, but Greg makes a lot more. So I thought it would be better to break up with my boyfriend and go out with Greg. What? I've been telling you that he's my fiancé. We are getting married soon. That's why we went to my parents' house yesterday to tell them the news. I know that. But I want him, and I can't help it. Huh? I've gotten everything I've ever wanted. I'll definitely get it this time, too. Maya, enough! Don't make me angry. Oh no, that's scary. I don't have time to bother with you anymore. I'm going to go to the preview of the wedding hall with Greg now. Are we done here? Oh, I'm jealous. Well, I'm afraid that wedding won't happen. I really have to go now, so I'll see you later. Hey sis, can I ask you one more time? About what? It's about Greg, of course. Maya, are you serious? I'm not going to let you have him. Yeah, I get it. He's your precious fiancé and you don't want to let him go. I understand how you feel. What's wrong with you? Now I'm getting scared. I have an announcement to make. I have a bad feeling about this. I don't want to hear it. Even if you don't want to hear it, I'll tell you. Greg has become my fiancé. Huh? I know, that's hard for you to understand. I totally get it. But this has been decided. What do you mean? At the family meeting, it was decided that I'm going to have Greg. What? That's absurd. The family meeting included just Mom, Dad, and you, right? So what? That's my family. No, that's impossible. Even if you think this is impossible, this has been decided already. If you have a problem with it, you can tell Mom and Dad. Greg would prefer me because I'm prettier than you. He'll be so happy to be with me. Greg is right next to me now and he's reading our texts. He is so surprised. The sight is so pitiful that I can't even bear to look at it. What? He fell off his chair like a cartoon and fell on his back. He's enduring the pain desperately. Huh? I mean, he is that surprised. I'm trying to say that what you're saying is impossible. No matter how much you talked about it with Mom and Dad and decided on your own, as long as Greg and I don't approve, we'll never break up. Greg will never choose you, Maya. No, it's just a matter of time. Huh? My family says it's fine, and since I've announced to you that I'm going to have Greg, it's only a matter of time. I'm going to let Greg know right away. You don't know his number, do you? Mom told me. What? Yesterday, I asked Mom to get Greg's number. Of course, she asked for it so I could contact him. Hey, that's enough. Don't contact him because he'll be confused. Hey, Maya, are you listening to me? Maya! Sorry to interrupt your lunch hour, Greg. Have you heard from Maya since then? You didn't hear from her last night, so I hope she gave up. But the way she was acting last night, it seemed like she was ready to steal you away. I just can't stand this.
Hey, Ava. I was just about to text you, too. I just looked at my phone and saw a text from your sister.
What? Seriously? What does it say?
At the family meeting, you became my fiancé. I'm looking forward to spending the time with you, handsome. How about dinner for a start? I'll keep you company all night.
What? This is crazy. What the hell is she thinking? I'm really sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
Because my sister is doing something terrible.
It's not your fault, but I finally understand why you were so hesitant to let me see your family. So this was the reason, right? Yesterday, your sister was asking me a lot of questions, and I thought it was strange. But I thought it was because we went to the same high school, so maybe she felt a sense of closeness. I never thought this would happen.
Yeah, my family is weird, so I only had minimal contact with them. Somehow, I had a feeling this was going to happen, so I didn't want to take you to my parents' house.
I see. That makes sense. Now I understand why you just wanted me to say hi to your parents and not get involved. If that's okay with you, let's just do so.
I'd rather you did.
Okay, I've already told my parents beforehand. I'll talk to them about what's happening now as well. So don't worry about anything, Ava.
Thank you. By the way, when did you exchange numbers with my mom?
While you weren't around, your mother asked me my number so that she could always be in touch with me for emergencies. Now that I think about it, she might have been looking for the timing when you weren't around.
I can't believe it. I don't want you getting another weird text like that. You can block Mom and Maya's numbers. I mean, I want you to block them.
Okay, I'll block them.
I'm so sorry I didn't see it coming. I'm so sorry.
I told you it's not something for you to apologize for. You actually told me we didn't need to visit them to tell them we're getting married. I was the one who forced you into this situation because I thought we should tell them in person.
I know, but...
Ava, we're going to be a married couple now. Let's cooperate with each other in everything. You don't have to apologize or feel sorry for me.
Okay. Thank you so much, Greg. Yes, we are going to be a married couple. From now on, let's talk about everything with each other and overcome difficulties together.
Yeah, I'd like that. Ava, help me.
What's wrong? What happened? Sorry, I was busy at work today and I'm still working. I'm in a meeting right now. So I can't answer the phone, but text me what happened.
Your sister somehow got into our house.
What? You're kidding. We locked the door, didn't we? How the hell did she get in?
I opened the fridge earlier and noticed there was no milk. So I went to the grocery store to get milk. I thought I locked the door, but I guess I wasn't paying attention and forgot to lock the door. I think that's when she got in.
Okay, so you forgot to lock the door, but still, this is creepy. The fact that Maya was able to sneak into our house when you were out, doesn't that mean she was watching nearby the whole time?
I think so.
So what's the situation now?
Well, I had a Zoom meeting at 8 p.m. tonight, so I thought I'd join from home. I was launching Zoom and getting ready. And then I was suddenly tapped on the shoulder from behind by someone. I turned around and saw your sister. There she was, staring at me, in her underwear. I panicked. I ran desperately to the bathroom, and here I am now asking for your help. I wonder what your sister is doing in our house right now. I'm scared what she's up to, but I'm even more scared to leave the bathroom. And she herself doesn't seem to realize it. But I was already on Zoom at the time. I was chatting with a few people when she tapped on my shoulder. So I think the people I was connected to at the time saw her in her underwear.
I can't believe it. It's so disgusting. I don't even want to think of her as my sister. Anyway, call the police now, Greg.
Are you sure? I wasn't sure whether to call the police or not because she's your sister. I didn't think it would be a good idea to call the police.
Whether she's a stranger or my sister, it doesn't matter. She broke into a residence and she was in her underwear. For her sake, it's not a good idea to coddle her.
All right, I'll call the police.
I'll be home as soon as possible.
No, I don't think you should come home now.
What? Why?
Your sister seems excited. She's making a sound like she's in a porno movie.
Huh? No way.
I don't want you to see your sister like that. I'll leave the rest to the police. I'll text you as soon as the police arrive, so don't worry.
Okay, I'll wait for your text. Oh man, I've had a hard time. You told Greg to call the police, didn't you? Greg didn't seem entirely unwilling, and you spoiled it. Wow, how can you take it in such a positive way? I'm impressed in a way. Thanks for the compliment. You don't even know I'm being sarcastic. Oh my God, I was really surprised. Greg must have been so embarrassed that he ran off to the bathroom. I was thinking about how I should treat him when he comes out. Then the police came out of nowhere. I was seen in my underwear by a police officer. It wasn't for show. It's Greg's privilege to see me naked. You know, you're trying so hard to get your hands on Greg. But Maya, you have a boyfriend to begin with. Are you breaking up with him? Nope. I'm into Greg now, but my boyfriend takes good care of me and he makes a lot of money. I'm not going to break up with him right now. Well, I'll break up with him when I'm ready to marry Greg. So he's a backup. Your boyfriend said he's breaking up with you. Huh? Cut the crap. You've only met him once. True, I've only met him once. Huh? Greg knows your boyfriend. You're kidding, right? They're business partners. 3 days ago, when you broke into our house, Greg was in front of the computer, right? He was, but so what? He had a meeting scheduled in a few minutes. And he was chatting with some of the members on Zoom. So what? That means you in your underwear was seen by some of the members. Greg said it was a big meeting, so there were already around 10 members online. What? No way! You already figured it out, didn't you? One of the members was your boyfriend. Poor guy. On a Zoom meeting, he was having a conversation with his business partners. Suddenly, a woman in her underwear appeared on the screen, and she turned out to be his girlfriend. If I were in his situation, I'd be so shocked I'd probably be bedridden. Oh crap, I didn't know. I didn't know is not an excuse. It's a criminal offense to enter someone's house without permission. Your boyfriend seemed very shocked at first, but then he started to think of you as a strange woman. He said he's breaking up with you. What? You mean I'm getting dumped? It's not just him. Greg also thinks you're really creepy. Creepy? That's ridiculous. I heard what you were doing. You've been having your boyfriend pay for everything and take care of you. And before you knew it, you quit your job. You've been telling him that you have no money and having him pay for everything. You had him do all that for you, and you're just going to move on to another guy? How can you do that? I guess you're being punished for what you did. Why should I be dumped by him? Damn it, I'll make Greg fall for me no matter what. That won't happen. Why not? You don't know that. I do know, because you have no way to contact Greg. What? What do you mean? Greg blocked your number, as you've probably already noticed. On top of that, we moved. Oh, really? To where? There's no way I'd tell you. I'll just tell you that it's a skyscraper condo somewhere. I wanted to live there once before we planned to have kids. That's not fair. I want to live in a skyscraper condo too. Why is Greg spending all those money on you? I knew you were misunderstanding. You seem to think you can beat me with ease. But let me tell you, I make as much money as Greg does. Huh? You? That's a lie. I would never lie about something like that. I started my own business a few years ago, and it's doing well. That's why I'm going to pay half the rent for the new house. If you stole Greg from me, can you manage to pay half the rent? Of course I can't pay. You know that. Oh, I have an idea. Hire me. You'd be glad to have me work for you, wouldn't you? Not at all. Why not? I'm thinking of cutting ties with you. What? Or rather, cutting ties with my family. I visited my parents' house to let them know about my marriage. And they support you for stealing my fiancé from me. They're not my family. And hiring you? Are you kidding me? You don't work. You're just fooling around. What good would someone like you do in our company? Above all, I don't trust people who would betray their own family without a second thought. No way. Sis, I'm sorry. I'll change my ways from now on. I have work to do. I'm busy. I'm blocking you now. Bye. Take care. You're kidding. Sis, what am I supposed to do? Greg filed a police report. Not only did he report the unauthorized entry into our house, he demanded compensation for ruining his important business meeting. The fact that Maya broke into our house without permission and exposed herself in her underwear was deemed to be equivalent to mental anguish. Maya had to pay more than $10,000 in fees. Of course, there was no way Maya had that much money. She had to borrow money from a not-so-good place to pay it. Now, Maya, who is saddled with the debt, is abused by her parents who loved her so much. That's all I heard about Maya. I don't know anything more than that, as I have already cut ties with my family. I recently got married to Greg. I feel that my bond with Greg has become stronger because of what Maya had done to us. I believe that he and I will be able to overcome anything together in the future. I am grateful to my ex-family for making me realize that.
Did you go on a date with her? A friend of mine is a director of the hospital. And he mentioned that his daughter is still single, so introduced you to her. You already invited her on a date right away, huh? That's my sign. Well, yeah. She's totally my type, Mom. I thought it was an unparalleled opportunity. So, how is it going with her? Oh, it's perfect. She seems to like me too. When I asked to be my girlfriend with marriage in mind, she immediately said yes. That's amazing. You're not only excellent, but also good with women. Thank you, Mommy. Marrying a beautiful and wealthy woman is the best. Yesterday, when I said I was broke before payday, she said for our date. Wow, she's so nice. Well then, let's start preparing for the divorce from that trashy wife. After all, being with the daughter of the director of a big hospital makes the loser useless. That's right. Susie is a school dropout, and her parents are also poor, self-employed people. If I can marry a woman from a wealthy family, I want to break up with Susie soon. That's right. Let's kick that wife out quickly. You, an elite who graduated from a top university, and your current wife don't much. But can I really divorce so easily? It's not like there's a major problem with Susie. And I can't just ask for a divorce because I found a new girlfriend. I can't be honest about it, right? Susie, despite her appearance, can be quite frightening when angry. It's okay. I have a good idea. Huh? Leave it to me, son. I'll make sure that you get the divorce. How do you plan to ensure the divorce? Oh dear, I'll keep it a secret for now. What is it? Are you planning to use methods you can't tell me about? Well, it's just part of the excitement. I'll make sure it's a success, so don't worry. I'll create a situation where divorce is unavoidable. Mom, you're scheming something, aren't you? But I know you are the smartest mom. I trust you. I'll leave everything to you. If the plan succeeds, you have made a great match. As a mother, I can enjoy a comfortable life too. Oh, that sounds great, Mommy. Fortunately, your wife and I get along for now, so she won't suspect that I'm trying to get you a divorce. I'll go to your house today and start with my plan. You tell her you have a certain business trip or something. And make sure you don't come home today. Got it. I will tell her I won't be back until tomorrow evening. I'll send her a message now. Mom, you're such an amazing mother as always. I can't wait to hear the good news. Leave it to me. I'll make sure we have enough money for the wedding preparations. We won't live in a crumpled apartment like now. We might even move into a newly built mansion right after the wedding. I can't wait. Mom. What, Susie? What's going on?
You seem flustered after all. Were you surprised to see me alive?
What are you talking about?
Mom, you did it, didn't you?
Huh? I'm asking what you're talking about.
Don't play innocent, please. You knew I can't drink alcohol. Yet you made me drink beer, right?
Huh? You can't drink? I thought an uneducated woman like you loves alcohol, you know.
Stop joking around. When I introduced myself to you before, I mentioned that my body can't tolerate alcohol. Besides, educational background and alcohol are not related.
Well, it was a long time ago. I've forgotten about it.
I've mentioned it every time we've met. So yesterday, when you came to the house, I refused when you offered me a beer. You insisted, saying, it was a beer that even I can drink. You forced me to drink, didn't you? So I thought it was non-alcoholic beer or something. But it turned out to be real beer. Thanks to that, I lost consciousness on the spot. You left me and quickly went home, right?
I'm sorry about that. I thought you were tired and had fallen asleep. That's why I left you alone. But now, if you're messaging like this, you're fine drinking beer after all.
I'm at the hospital now. My friend got worried because she couldn't reach me last night. So she came to check on me at home. She found me collapsed on the floor and took me to the hospital. My husband said he had a sudden business trip and hasn't come home. If my friend had not found me, I might have been in the outer life by now.
Damn it. It was close.
What?
No, it's nothing.
It was close? You did it on purpose, didn't you?
What?
You knew I couldn't drink. You forced me to drink alcohol. And when I lost consciousness, you left me alone. That's what happened, right?
I can't help it. Well, I will tell you now. I don't like you. So I thought I'd give you a little pushback.
You don't like me? I thought we had gotten along well with each other. When Jake and I decided to get married, you told me that you were glad to have a good-natured wife like me. After we got married, we went on different trips together. You even came to visit us after we got married. So I thought you didn't have any problems with me.
What an idiot! Of course, I was acting. I was just playing the kind mother-in-law for the sake of my son. I always hated you for seducing my son.
What?
Think about it. My son is an elite graduate from a top university, and I'm ashamed that his wife is a high school dropout. Your words and actions reveal your poor upbringing. It's getting on my nerves.
I am a high school dropout, but I'm working now, and I'm a decent person. I don't think I've done anything to be judged like that.
You may be decent now, but you're still a high school dropout. I put up with it for a long time, and I was doing my best. But now that my husband has passed away, I no longer have to force myself to be nice to you. It's just too stressful to smile at someone you don't like.
But even if you didn't like me, sending me to the hospital on purpose is too much.
My God, I screwed up. I should have given you something with a higher alcohol content than beer.
How could you say that? If you had done something like that, it could have been worse.
I, for one, think my son's marriage is a failure. My son should have found a more suitable wife. Instead, he married a high school dropout loser. I wish he'd just get the divorce.
Even if that's what you feel, if Jake and I didn't intend to divorce, there's nothing you can do about it.
That's why I made you drink. If only you were gone, my son can marry another woman. And yet, you were rushed to the hospital? Jesus Christ, you were really annoying.
I can't believe you. Mom, do you know what you're saying?
Yes, and I'm serious. A mother must protect a son from a woman like you. I would do anything to make him happy.
No matter how much you hate me, Jake chose me as his wife. I'll tell him what you did.
Do what you want. I don't think telling my son will help you.
If he finds out his mother is such a cruel person, I'm sure he would be shocked. You might be disowned by Jake.
That's unfortunate. But my son agrees with me.
What?
I guess you don't know anything about this. My son wants to leave you. To help him get what he wants. I just helped him to get a divorce from you.
You're kidding.
Susie, please leave my son. Or I'll really show no mercy next time.
No way. Wait a minute. Let me talk to Jake directly.
I said it's useless. He didn't even come to visit you when you were in the hospital, did he?
That's just because he was on a nursing business trip and I couldn't reach him. If he knew I was hospitalized, he would rush over to see me.
No, my son will never come back to you. He wants to leave you as soon as possible. If you love my son, please let my son go as soon as possible.
So, it's your fault that I can't get in touch with Jake? You told him not to contact me, didn't you?
No, I didn't. Don't get me wrong. It's entirely his decision. So, How long are you going to be in the hospital? While you're in the hospital, I'll pack up your stuff and send it to your parents' house.
On the contrary, how long do you want to stay in the hospital?
What?
I will never forgive you for what you did to me.
What? What can you do when you're in a hospital? You should realize that you're a scumbag wife who doesn't deserve my son. And agree to the divorce right now.
Alright, that's it. No more games. You dirty bastard!
What? What's that attitude?
Oops, it's nothing. Excuse me. I was really shocked. Until then, my mother-in-law had always been kind to me. I thought that we would continue to get along well with each other. But in fact, she hated me. She wanted to separate me from my husband. And she was so cruel that she tried to make me disappear and forced me to leave him. As she said, I am a high school dropout. But I worked diligently now. It was through my work that I met my husband. When he proposed to me, he said he didn't care about my educational background. He told me that he fell in love with my personality. So I wish he had at least taken my side. I was disappointed. The last I heard from him was that he had to go on an urgent business trip. He didn't respond to my calls or messages, even though I was hospitalized in an emergency. He didn't even come to visit me in the hospital. Now, it feels that all the things that Mom said are true. That my husband wanted to leave me. I began to distrust my husband more and more. A mother-in-law trying to make the wife cry, and a husband who does not care about his wife. I decided to get a divorce, and I promised myself to take revenge on them.
Susie, are you going to be in a hospital for a while? Have you decided to get divorced?
Yes, I have. I'm divorcing my husband.
Well, that's wonderful. You're not very smart. I thought you'd be more stubborn than you are. But thank God, you're more understanding than I thought.
I feel sad that we're put in ways like this. There's no point in being a family with a mother and son who treat me as a nuisance.
You're right. You are a nuisance. I'll tell my son that you've agreed to the divorce. And we'll get that paperwork started right away. Oh, now I can see a bright future for me and my son. Thank you, Lord. I feel great.
I see. How long do you think that feeling will last?
I'm telling you, when you get out of the hospital, just go back to your parents' house, okay?
Why?
Jake decided to move out of the apartment where you used to live. My son will stay with me for a while. Of course, don't come burgeoning on us, okay? I don't want to see your face, ever. We're happy that Jake finally getting divorced. But I feel bad if my hateful ex-wife comes to our house.
I see. So you really want to get rid of me, don't you? Well, of course you do. Jake was unfaithful to me.
What? What are you talking about?
You're right. I thought it was strange. My husband rarely goes on business trips. But on the day I was taken to the emergency room, he had to go on a sudden business trip.
What are you talking about? My son is hardworking and his boss expects a lot of him. He may be asked to work unexpectedly.
and when I tried to contact him, he didn't respond at all. I was convinced. My husband is keeping secrets from me.
But how can you say that when you're in a hospital? You just slept in a hospital bed the whole time.
The daughter of the director of Central Hospital.
What?
A friend of mine told me when she came to visit me. She told me Jake was holding hands with a woman. She even showed me a picture of it. It's terrible, isn't it? His wife is in the hospital, you know. He ignores my calls, and he's on a date with another woman with the goofy looks on his face. Apparently, that woman is rich. He probably thought he'd divorce me and marry her.
But how? How did you know that she's the director's daughter?
Mom, I have many friends in my hometown. Don't you know that?
Huh?
The picture of my husband with another woman. I sent it to every friend I could think of. One of them said she knew her. She used to live in the neighborhood. But that doesn't mean they were friends.
Of course not. There's no way your friend and the director's daughter can be friends. It's impossible.
She's the daughter of a family that runs a big hospital. If he could marry her, he would have a rich life. Of course you loved that idea, didn't you? You must have wanted to get her as a new wife.
Well, if you know that much, I will admit now. Yes, I want my son to marry her. If he gets married to the director's daughter, my son will automatically be rich. And I'll be able to enjoy all the luxuries too.
I see. So you were thinking about parenticizing her.
Excuse me? Parenticizing? How dare you to say that to me? To have my son and his wife take care of me. It is natural right of parents. Besides, with you gone, we'd get a few life insurance payout.
Wow, I didn't realize you were thinking about that far ahead. You were a total scumbag.
Call it what you want. Either way, my son is getting a divorce. My son will marry the director's daughter and live an elegant life with me. Well, you can just sit back and watch.
By the way, you're at home now, right? Alone?
What? Yeah. I'm the only one at home. What about it?
Just look out a window for a minute.
Huh? What?
Isn't it busy outside the house?
What? I mean, what's going on? There's a bunch of scary-looking guys surrounding the house.
Oh, really? Is it because you did something bad? Maybe they're outside to punish you?
Punish me? Don't tell me you sent them here. Jesus Christ, sis. Everyone looks so scary. They're all staring at me and I'm scared. Who the hell are these people?
They're all my friends.
What?
I told you I have a lot of friends in my hometown. They are my homies.
Homies? You were in a gang or something? I always thought you used strange words. You finally revealed your true colors. Bringing this gangster here. What the hell are you trying to do?
I still remember. When you asked me how long I will be in the hospital, I replied, on the contrary, how long do you want to stay in the hospital?
Are you thinking of sending your friends after me to send me to the hospital?
That's up to you. If you don't want to be hospitalized,
go to the police yourself. What? Do you want me to turn myself in?
What you did, it is a crime, right? I was forcibly made to drink alcohol that I couldn't handle. And as a result, I was rushed to the hospital with acute alcohol poisoning. If you don't want to go to the police, I'm sure you'll be in a lot of pain. So, what's your decision?
I don't want to either. If I have to go to the police, it would ruin my son's plan to marry a rich man's daughter. It would ruin everything.
You're still talking like that at this point. But I'm sorry. Whether you get caught or not, Jake can't marry the director's daughter.
What?
I told you that one of my friends knows her, so my friend told her everything.
About what?
That Jake was hitting on her, pretending that he was single. The director's daughter was furious. She said she'd never marry him and never wanted to see him again.
Oh no.
And it was you who introduced her. You were not that close with the director. The director didn't know that Jake was married. So you took advantage of that and tried to get him married to the director's daughter, right? I didn't know you'd go that far just for money. I'm disappointed. Furthermore, you tried to make me disappear because I will get in the way of your son's remarriage. That's not a very human thing to do.
No. This is all my son's plan. It's not my fault.
What?
The truth is, I didn't want to do this either. But my son asked me to do it. He wanted to marry the daughter of a rich man, so he asked me to do something about his wife. He wants a divorce before she finds out that Jack's married. He said he needed my help to do that. So, I had no choice but to get too drunk.
You're an asshole, you know that. You're blaming your own son.
Please believe me. I was just used by my son.
Don't be ridiculous. It's too late to lie now. Why don't you look back at your messages? You wrote yourself that you were going to make me disappear. The director's daughter also testified that you tricked her. No matter how hard you try, it's all your fault.
Susie, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll apologize, but can you let it go this time? I don't care if you don't divorce my son. I'll be nicer to you from now on. So please, I don't want you to get in trouble with the police. And while you're at it, would you please tell your friends outside to go home?
What? Do you really think it's going to be that easy? I'm done arguing with you. So I'm going to ask my friend to drag you to the police.
Don't do that.
Then you'd better admit your guilt and get caught.
If it's going to be like this, I shouldn't have let you drink the alcohol. I'm too old to be in trouble with the police. My life is over.
No. Your life is just beginning. I'm going to change your alimony as well as Jake.
Alimony? How am I going to be able to pay for it? I'm living on a pension.
Then why don't you work? You and your scumbag son. I'm going to make sure you do scum pay for your sins. In the end, Teresa was arrested because I reported the incident. my friends who were surrounding her house went home that night. I'm thankful to all my friends who gathered for me this time. Although everyone used to be thugs, they are all currently earnest working members of society. To scare Theresa, they pulled out the outfit they used to wear in the past. Meanwhile, I was safely discharged from the hospital, and Jake and I got divorced. Of course, I demanded alimony from him and his mother. However, Theresa was unemployed, and Jake had to quit his job because the rumor of the incident spread to his workplace. Both of them had to borrow money to pay the alimony. They thought they were going to live a lavish life after marrying a rich woman. Instead, they were forced to pay off their debts every day. Now, they work part-time from morning till night, and both of them are exhausted. I think they got what they deserved.
I'm just letting you know. We're moving in with my mom and sister. You'd better get ready too. Don't argue with me.
Huh? Wait a minute, I was wondering why you were calling me from work. Living together? At your parents' house? What do you mean?
I said don't argue with me. Don't come at me.
But you're coming at me, aren't you? I've been saying since last year that I don't want to live with them. And in the first place, why are you calling me from work for such an important conversation?
I know you say no if it was in person. I knew you would make a fuss talking about it, so I decided to tell you by text.
I can't. I'm never going to live with them. Your divorced sister is living there now, isn't she? The situation has gotten worse since last year. I definitely don't want to live with them.
Huh? If you would just shut up and listen, are you really my wife?
What?
My mom is divorced. My sister is divorced. There are no men in the house. What are they supposed to do if me, being the eldest son, doesn't go to help them out? A woman who can't even care about that is my wife? It's laughable. How can you complain so much when you're incapable of thinking about family matters?
For me, my family is you and I. I can't take care of my in-laws. Besides, we originally got married on the agreement that we wouldn't live with them. You moved into the apartment I was living in.
I didn't really want to. The apartment we're living in now is not my cup of tea.
Huh?
I didn't really want to live there in the first place. It was a process of elimination.
What do you mean?
The place I was living in was too small for the both of us. I had a nagging father at home, and I didn't want to go back there. Looking for a new place would have been a waste of time and money. So we had no choice but to live in your one-bedroom apartment. In other words, I had no choice about where to live after marriage.
That was the reason? You begged me at first. You said you wanted to live together in the space I lived in. You said if we lived in my place, we wouldn't have to live with them, even if we got married. I believed you and decided to live together with you in my place. Did you deceive me?
Did I say that? Well, I'm a smooth talker. I can say stuff I don't even mean. It's your fault for not being able to tell a lie from the truth.
What kind of person are you?
Anyway, my mom divorced my nagging dad. My dad, who I hated since I was a kid, is gone. There's no reason for me not to go home now. Besides, my mom and sis need me.
And to suddenly move in with them without consulting me, it's really a problem.
So, do you want to get a divorce?
What?
You can't do that, can't you? You can't live without me, can't you? If you don't want to live with them, I can give you the divorce papers. I can take them to the city office today if you like.
Divorce papers? You mean?
Yes, the ones we both signed when we got married.
That was like an insurance policy in case of an emergency, right? We filled out the divorce papers beforehand, so that if one of us couldn't continue the marriage, we could file at any time. Don't tell me you made me write them to use to threaten me from the beginning? So even that was deceiving me with smooth talk?
I don't care how you interpret it. We have divorce papers that we can serve anytime we want. That's all.
What a cowardly thing to do.
You see your situation now, don't you? You can't argue with me. If we get divorced, who will lose out?
What do you mean?
Don't forget that you're living on my money, okay? How are you going to live on your own? You don't even have a job. No man would pick a divorced, incompetent woman. If I leave you, you're going to have a miserable life. If you still want that, just get a divorce. It's easy.
Please, just give me a minute. Give me some time to think about it.
Shut up. I'll do the moving in my own time, so don't mess it up. A wife shouldn't rebel against her husband's opinion, especially an incompetent wife like you who does nothing but complain.
Don't be so pushy. Stop saying all this crazy stuff.
Start packing today so you can move out at any time.
No, I'm never living with them.
Oh, by the way, tomorrow is the 1-year memorial anniversary at your parents' house, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I can't make it. I've got some important work I have to do.
What? I told you to keep that day open. What's this urgent business? Is it work related?
Huh? Why do I have to tell you that? Are you trying to rebel again, huh? Who do you think you owe your livelihood to? If my job disappears, you won't be able to make a living either.
I understand. I have no choice. I'll go alone tomorrow.
You should understand. I'm finally done.
What?
The move.
What? Moving?
Yes, we're moving to my parents' house. We used a contractor, but my mom and sister came to help. It only took 5 hours.
Did you move my stuff out too?
Of course I did. We're living with my mom and sister from tomorrow. If you don't like it, we can divorce.
I just finished the divorce proceedings.
What?
So we're already divorced. I filed the divorce papers.
You said today was your parents' memorial service. That's why I chose this day to move in.
Well, it's too bad about the memorial service, but I told them about the situation and I didn't attend. So I went to the city office and filed the divorce papers in the morning. They say the sooner the better. I filed first thing in the morning.
Huh? You've got to be kidding me. Do you have any idea what you've done? What the hell are you doing? You're selfish, you idiot, you.
Which one of us is the idiot? Last year you asked me to move in with them. I've been preparing for something like this. I'm glad I acted quickly. If I had asked first, I would have been yelled at. It was a great decision to notify you of the divorce after the fact.
You're telling me you've been preparing for a divorce with me for the past year?
Yes, I have. Yesterday, when you pushed me to move in with them out of the blue, I thought to myself, I knew you would force me to move in with them one of these days. I'm so glad I went through with the divorce today.
Do you really know what divorce means? You're going to have to live without me. You're not going to be able to live without me. You're incompetent. Can you make it?
Incompetent, incompetent, incompetent. You're really annoying. It will be great not to have to listen to that abuse from you anymore. I still had feelings for you before we got married, but after we got married, you became arrogant like a changed man. It was really hard on me.
It was because you're not ready to be a wife. How can you be so cocky? If you're going to apologize, now's the time.
Huh?
Go get down on your knees and apologize to me and cancel the divorce.
I don't want to apologize. Besides, the divorce papers have already been filed. You can't just cancel it. Don't be insane.
Time to get the marriage license. I know it's a hassle, but we have no choice but to get married again. You're really making me go through a lot of trouble.
Huh? Who's going to marry you?
You, of course.
No. I divorced you because I don't like you. Why would I marry you again? I'm so relieved to be divorced. You've got to be kidding me. It's not funny, it's just offensive.
So you're really going to divorce me?
I'm not going to, I already did. We're strangers as of 9 a.m. today. You're a stranger, so don't act like you're my husband.
You can't just do that. Are you sure you're okay with that? Can you live without me?
Yes, I can.
Too bad. I don't have your apartment anymore, okay?
Huh? Did you cancel the lease by any chance?
Yes, I did. I gave 1 month's notice, and today was the moving day.
You've been planning to move in with them for such a long time.
That's right.
The apartment is in my name. What happened to the paperwork?
I, the husband, went ahead and did the paperwork. A wife's papers are as good as the husband's. I'm the boss, so to speak. So it's okay for me to sign them on your behalf, right?
That's a crime, right?
Huh?
It's forgery of a private document.
Say what? You gonna threaten me with that? Don't do it. You don't have a home anymore. The only way is for you to marry me again and live with me at my parents' place.
That's not true.
Huh?
I mean, thank you for canceling the contract.
Huh?
I was going to cancel too, but you saved me the trouble. Well, that doesn't change the fact that it's a crime, but I'm glad you did it on my behalf.
You were going to cancel? Don't tell me you have a new house.
Yes, I do. I just signed a contract. It's a furnished apartment and I can move in immediately. It's a girls-only apartment, so it's very clean and pretty. There are no abusive old men like you in the neighborhood, and the next-door neighbor is a quiet office worker, so it's very comfortable.
What? Wait a minute, what do you mean?
You didn't get it from that? You don't understand. It means I have a new home. It means I'm not going back to that apartment.
Even if you have a house, what about your life?
I have a job though, right?
Huh? You were a stay-at-home wife. What's with the job?
Actually, I'm a certified caregiver.
A caregiver?
Yeah, we were married for 1.5 years, but I saw your transformation right from the start. A year ago, you approached me about moving in together with your mom. I figured one day I'd be on my own and we'd get divorced. So I took a correspondence course and got my nursing license. I thought it would be the best way to go from being a stay-at-home wife to getting a job, so.
A nursing care certification? That's great, isn't it?
Huh?
Mom says she's getting a little frail. She'll say scary things like she's starting to go senile. If you're qualified to be a caregiver, then there's nothing to be scared of. So then come back and take care of her. I forgive you for divorcing me without my permission and for making fun of me. Just get the marriage registered and go back to being a housewife in our home.
I refuse. I didn't qualify for my mother-in-law. I got certified for myself, for my independence plan.
You're too lousy to have had such a cocky plan.
Which one of us is worse? You were planning to have us move in with your mother without my knowledge. You were going to make me your housekeeper anyway.
You're my wife. The wife is the housekeeper. A housewife means wife and housekeeper, right?
You suck. I'm glad I got a job.
Huh?
There's a nursing home near my new house that's looking for qualified candidates. I called them and they said to come right away. I'm on the verge of being hired and I was just on my way to go to an interview.
Wait a minute, there's no way you can work. You're too incompetent to go work in the real world. Before going out and making trouble for people, you should just quietly come back and be a housewife.
Wow, I'm surprised that you have the concept of causing trouble for others. I'm so surprised.
Then come back.
I don't know what's wrong with you. I've told you many times that I don't want to live with you, and we're already divorced. Don't pester me anymore.
You think I'm just gonna give up? I've already promised my mom and sister. I told them that you would do all the housework so they can enjoy themselves. Think about the position you're putting me in.
I don't need to think about it. I'm not your housekeeper or your personal caregiver. I'm an unrelated stranger.
Okay. If you're gonna be like that, then there's something I can do. You're still not coming back, are you?
No, I'm not coming back no matter what you say.
Then I'll file for compensation, so watch out.
What? Compensation? On what basis?
I've been taking care of you and making a living for you. It's a consolation prize for divorcing me without permission and betraying me.
You can't ask for compensation for that.
No, I will show you. And as for the money I've given you for living expenses up to now, I'll ask for half of it back.
Living expenses? What are you talking about?
Monthly living expenses of $1,500 times 18 months divided by 2 equals $13,500. You're going to have to pay this too, promptly and in full.
You're too stupid to talk to. Oh, I'm exhausted. It takes so much energy to talk to someone who doesn't understand. I can't believe we're talking the same language.
Go ahead and be exhausted. I'm going to call a lawyer and sue you. If you don't like it, come back.
I don't want to go back, so do what you want. You can call your lawyer or whatever you want. Bye.
I'll make sure you regret it. Just wait and see. Hey, what's going on?
What's the matter? You're getting on my nerves. We just finished talking. I'm exhausted. I don't want to be tired anymore.
That's my line. You're harassing me. It started again.
What do you mean?
A guy saying he was Merle's agent came to my house. He just gave me a notice and left. I don't understand the situation at all.
What? Already? I admire people who work fast. I'm going to have to learn from him.
I don't care about any of that. Are you suing me?
That's right.
Don't be silly, I'm suing you.
Well, you know, that bullshit about compensation and stuff, right? Like I said, you can do whatever you want. That's if you have a lawyer who's willing to deal with that joke of a case.
Huh?
My case was accepted right away. I asked for a lawyer with a good reputation. I didn't expect them to act so quickly. I guess they move faster when the case is clearly favorable to them. Wow.
I mean, what's $50,000 in compensation?
It's for the emotional pain I went through in my marriage with you.
There's no way I'm paying that kind of money. I mean, if we're talking about compensation, you pay it. You have some nerve coming to me with a claim.
Okay, fine. I don't care. I'll sue you and get you to officially pay me the fee and reimbursement.
Huh?
You canceled my apartment without my permission. I'm suing you for forgery of private documents.
You said thank you. You said you were going to cancel it anyway.
Yes, but the fact that you canceled the lease without my consent is a crime, so I'm suing you. Let the legal system will determine who's the one acting unreasonably and who has some nerve. Arguing amongst ourselves won't get us anywhere.
What a woman. Go ahead and sue me if you can. I'll probably just get a little warning anyway.
Then I'll sue for all of it.
All of it?
You moved out at 1. I checked with the movers.
What about it?
We were unrelated by 9 that day. You went into someone else's house and moved someone else's stuff out. That's trespassing.
Huh? That's not even...
And since you made such a mess when you moved out, the floor and walls of the apartment are badly damaged from furniture being dragged. I heard it's considered destruction of property.
Wait a minute. That's being too detailed.
Also, for my stuff that you took without my permission, I'll file a claim for damages. That's what happens when you steal someone else's stuff.
You're kidding. That's what's going to happen?
Even if each crime is a small one, you'd be considered a great premeditated criminal, and the punishment could be severe. I'm sure you'll pay either way, so thank you for the $50,000.
I don't even have $50,000 to begin with. You know I don't have that kind of money, right? And yet, you're stupid enough to ask me for such a large sum of money? You can't get what I don't have, so this case is over. That's what happens when you're incompetent and greedy.
I'm not sure why you're being so overbearing. Of course I have planned to collect, right?
There's no plan.
You have your parents' house.
Huh?
If you sell your parents' house, you can get the money, can't you?
You're trying to take our house away from us? What a horrible woman.
You and your family are even more horrifying, including your mother and your sister, who helped you. You're a fine criminal family. I shudder to think that I was about to be forced to live with such people.
It's because you didn't listen to me, even though you're my wife. And yet, you go ahead and do something like this? I didn't approve of a divorce in the first place.
It was you that prepared the papers so they could be filed at any time, wasn't it? I just took the liberty of filing them for you. The process went very smoothly. Thank you very much. My husband's family, who I had all the evidence on to charge them with numerous criminal acts, were immediately arrested after my lawyer and I reported the incident to the police. In order to pay reimbursement and compensation to me, my ex-mother-in-law cried to her own ex-husband and asked him to come up with $50,000 from his retirement fund he had. The condition for the payment was that my ex-father-in-law and mother-in-law remarry and live together. Therefore, my ex-husband was forced to live with his father, whom he hated so much. He has no money to leave the house, so he has no say in the matter. I think he now understands a little better how it feels to be forced to live with someone he doesn't want to live with. After the divorce, I became immersed in my work like a fish taking to water. Although there are many hardships, being a caregiver was my calling, as I felt appreciated and rewarded by the patients. Furthermore, someone at work suggested that I remarry someone they wanted to introduce to me. I plan to go on a date with him next week.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.